to the next level. Professionals Roundtable, 9 to 2 p.m. exclusively on Empire Broadcasting.
And welcome to Empire Radio. This is the Professionals Roundtable, and I'm your host, Rick Delgado. And welcoming back to the show right now is a gentleman based out of St. Cloud, Florida. He is the founder, president, and CEO of Forever Florida. You can go to the website foreverflorida.com. It's just the way I say it's the way you spell it. foreverflorida.com. Or you can even send him an email at info@foreverflorida.com, or better yet, give him a call, 407-957-9794. How about a nice roundtable welcome as we bring back Mr. William Bill Broussard. Bill, welcome back to the show, and how are you?
Okay, hi.
All right, well, thank you for taking some time and joining us again today. I know you've been with us before, but for listeners that may not have heard you on, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and exactly what you do with Forever Florida?
Yes, I'm a retired physician, retired a year and a half ago, and Forever Florida has to do with following up on a promise we gave our son, Alan Broussard. Alan unfortunately died of complications of treatment for Hodgkin's disease when he was just 4 days past his 29th birthday. And in the 3 months he was in a hospital in St. Louis waiting for a heart transplant, I flew to St. Louis every weekend just to be with him.
Right.
And we talked a lot about an area just south of our ranch. I owned a cattle ranch in Osceola County. And just south of the ranch was a 3,200-acre parcel that had been sold off in a land scam, for which Florida is well known. And the land scam actually preserved it in natural condition, not developed, no roads, nothing. So it was just in completely natural condition.
Right.
And so one weekend, the discussion got serious, and I did promise him that we would do our best to try to save that, whatever it took. And shortly after he died, we bought the first lot, and we've been buying ever since. We have close to 90% of it now.
Really?
And we're still picking up lots. Still a few to go.
Right. Now, in terms of picking up lots, when you're doing that, how does that? What's that process like? Because I'm sure that when it comes to land, everybody wants some, right?
Yeah. Well, there are two ways we approach it. One is every once in a while we do a mail out to all of the property owners left and make an offer, and that always produces a few willing sellers. Sometimes more than we can manage right at the time.
Right.
And we also are very careful about picking up all of those that go out for not paying taxes. Every year there are several that are sold at public auction because the owner did not pay taxes.
Right.
So we are very careful to pick up those. So those are the two ways we go about it.
Right, and now you've just basically, so what you're doing is you're expanding on the conservatory part, correct?
Right, and it's expanding. You have to understand we're talking about a checkerboard. So it's not expanding boundaries as much as filling in the boundaries,
Gotcha.
Picking up everything inside.
Yeah, so there could be pieces that you pick up, but there could be a section or two right in the middle of that you haven't been able to get.
Right.
That's gotta be an interesting, when you sit down and look at a map and be like, okay, we got this section here,
Yeah.
but we can't get this section, and it's maybe surrounded or whatever, or maybe you pick up one.
It's 2.5 acre plots was the basic, but there was also a lot of 1 1/4 acre plots sold, and a few of an acre or less.
Right.
So they're all different sizes. There are a few 10 acres, that sort of thing.
So the Alan Broussard Conservancy, that's your promise kept to your son.
Yeah, right. The Alan David Broussard Conservancy is a 501c3 nonprofit, and it is the owner of the property, and it's bought in, and it's a nonprofit,
Right.
nonprofit corporation,
Right.
and it's bought in the 501c3's name.
Right. Now, are people? Do you do tours through there? I mean, how does that whole thing work, or is it just it's just cordoned off? That's it. Whatever animals live there, they live there. Or how does that whole thing work when you're running a conservancy?
Well, it has to be managed by fire. The environment deteriorates over the years if you don't burn it every once in a while. And in the area we're in, it's a longleaf pine flatwoods is what it's called, and cypress sloughs. And that requires management by burning. And typically, the burns occurred about every 2 years from
Right.
lightning strikes and no fire control. Now, we've gotten to be not friendly toward wildfires, and wildfires are put out as soon as possible. And that, in turn, builds up more and more fire hazard, which gets to be a bigger and bigger problem. And then when it catches fire, you got a big problem.
Right.
But if you burn every 2 years, then it's well managed. There's not that big a problem. But burning is essential to maintain the natural environment, and even the animal species that live there. The fires are essential.
Right. And I bet that's probably hard to explain to some people because they probably freak out on you. It's like, why are you burning the wildlife, and you're affecting everything. But there's a method to this, and there's a reason for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a science to it. Yeah, absolutely. There's a science to it.
Have you ever run across where people are giving you a hard time or protesting because of the fires?
Well, fortunately, we're in a very remote area, so haven't had much problem of protesting. The only thing we have to be careful of is not having the smoke drift toward the closest highway. That could be a problem.
Right.
We just have to burn when the winds are favorable, and the smoke rises in a favorable manner so that it doesn't sit on the highway. But if we're careful of that, we really don't have problems.
Yeah, so like you said, there's really quite a science behind it that most people just don't understand. They probably just think, oh, you're just burning it to burn it. No, there's a reason.
Yeah.
It actually helps the environment. It helps the wildlife that is there and the wilderness.
And sooner or later, it will burn.
Right.
Are you going to have a fire that's controllable, manageable, and won't cause too much problem, or are you going to have a disaster?
Right.
So that's what's hard to get through to the public. It's going to burn. It's just a matter of when and how are you going to control it.
Right. It's almost like a sports analogy. It's like this person's going to score. You just want to try to make sure they don't score on you all that often. And people can volunteer, right? Because you are a nonprofit.
Yes.
You're community-based.
We have volunteers,
and you do have volunteers that come in.
And we have volunteers for, we run an ecotourism business. That is, we show people around the area.
Right.
And we have zip lines, and we have horseback rides, and we have tour zone coaches so people can see the natural environment.
Right. Now you have all this stuff within the Conservancy, right?
Right, and on the ranch side too. The tours include the ranch side because the ranch side has cattle, and we have cattle that go back to the Spanish colonial era. We have the largest registered herd of Spanish colonial cattle and horses anywhere, and that is living history. In other words, what they're seeing there is what came over with the conquistadors from Spain
Right.
in the 1500s.
Yeah, I think most people probably don't realize the history in terms of cattle in Florida. Everybody equates it, and certainly I do, because let's face it, that's all they show in the movies. You go out to Big Sky Country, Montana, Wyoming, all that stuff. Oh, they're
Right.
wrestling. They're taking the herds, and so everybody naturally assumes, oh well, that's probably the biggest part of the country that has it. And Bill has been kind enough to inform us that no, that's not actually the case.
Yeah, Florida is actually where large-scale cattle ranching originated, because the Spanish kings made land grants to the conquistadors, and they established finally large herds of cattle, numbering in the hundreds to the thousands to the tens of thousands
Right.
in Florida. And so that was the first large-scale controlled cattle ranching anywhere. And it later spread to the West, especially Texas. And Texas has the reputation now, but the largest cattle herd in the world is still in Florida. The Mormon Ranch owns a 45,000 cow herd in Florida.
Wow.
It's the largest cow herd in the world. So it still ranks.
Yeah, that seems to be quite large. Every time people think of Florida, they think, well, orange juice, Disney, and the Villages. But it's
And the beach.
Yeah, and the beach. But it's much more than that.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking to Bill Broussard. He is the founder, CEO, and president of Forever Florida, located in St. Cloud, Florida. You can go to the website foreverflorida.com, or you can give them a call, 407-957-9794. It's nice to get a little background in terms of what people don't realize about a state like Florida and some of the things that it's actually known for, and how effective it's been on history. And Bill's been able to provide that background for us because, like I said, everything I know about cattle or rustling comes from the movies. If John Wayne or Clint Eastwood isn't rustling up the cattle, it's like, well, then where else would you go? You never picture something like that coming from the state of Florida. But there are two reasons we're talking to Bill today. Not only about the Conservancy, which you can donate to. If you go to the website foreverflorida.com, just click on Alan Broussard Conservancy. Once you click on there, it takes you to the other website. You can make a donation. You can find out more about what they do if you want to volunteer, of course. There's educational resources. You can read the story about Alan, his son, and how this is basically a promise kept from Bill to his son. We got to take a quick break right now, Bill, but when we come back, let's get to the other part of what we're talking about when it comes to Forever Florida. We're talking about the adventures, the camp, and all that stuff that you do as well.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back with more on Empire Radio after these words.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, and father of 5. I'm also an expert on drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids, and there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
Would you like to get your business on the air? Do you have a product or service to sell? Then let us help you promote your business locally and nationally. Go to EmpireRadioNow.com. Send an email to info@EmpireRadioNow.com or call us at 1-800-936-1873 to become tomorrow's superstar.
Empire Broadcasting presents the Professionals Roundtable, 9 to 2 p.m. Hear what's hot in the professional world. Timely topics to propel your career to the next level. Professionals Roundtable, 9 to 2 p.m. exclusively on Empire Broadcasting.
And welcome back to Empire Radio. This is the Professionals Roundtable, and I'm your host, Rick Delgado. And we're sitting today with Bill Broussard. He is the founder, president, and CEO of Forever Florida. You can reach them through their website, foreverflorida.com, or you can give them a call, 407-957-9794. Now, one thing in particular, Bill, we want to talk about definitely this part of the show is the adventure that awaits everybody. By that, we mean the camp and what you guys got going on, especially during the summer.
Right. In summertime, we have 8 weeks of summer camp for our kids, and it's 1 week at a time, live-in. We have dormitories and meals, and they stay for a week or longer if so desired.
Yeah, if the parents want them to.
And you're right. If the parents want to have a little more rest.
Yes, exactly.
And it goes through July, and so you've got another month and a little bit to run. It's called Camp Illahaw, Illehaw.
Right.
Illahaw was an Indian camp, and then later on was a European settlers camp, a village called Illahaw, which is right near adjacent to our property. So we just adopted that name and called the summer Camp Illahaw. And at Camp Illahaw, they have many activities available, things like zip line, things like eco tours on a coach, things like tours on horseback, paintball, small arms fire, bow and arrow instruction.
Now, Bill, what do you mean by small arms fire?
22 caliber rifles.
Really? Okay.
And
now, is this is it just
kayaking?
Right. Now, Bill, is this just a day camp or is this an overnight thing?
No, it's overnight.
Okay.
They live there. Dormitories, food. They live there for a week, and or longer, as I said, as long as they desire. Yeah, no, it's not a day camp. We're too remote for a day camp.
Oh, okay. In other words, once your parents drop you off, they ain't coming to get you till the camp is over.
Right. We're about 50 miles from Orlando, so not that remote, but it is. And being remote, it's both advantage and disadvantage, but I regard it mostly as advantage. No other people around. It's isolation in natural areas. They also have things like wrestling in mud. They have climbing wall. They have paintball.
You got mud wrestling?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to let that slide. Keep going, Bill. You sure this is for kids?
Yeah. A ropes course. So, and a lot of these things are optional. You know, they can decide whether they want to do this particular thing or not, but they need to keep busy through the day.
Gotcha. Hey, let me ask you this. In terms of the zip lining, now, from our last conversation, the stuff that you've told me, and zip lining is is one of those things that seems to be picking up a lot of steam. You're starting to see it more and more in different places that are coming out, poking up around the country, really.
Right.
But you guys have a unique angle on the zip lining, right?
Yeah, a couple of things. One is we have the first zip line in Florida. And two is that we have the only roller coaster zip line in the United States.
All right. Now, that is something you need to explain, because I think people don't understand when you say zip line roller coaster, because it immediately conjures up a strange image in your head. So kind of explain what that looks like and what they can expect.
Well, a roller coaster is a roller coaster. It's up and down, and it's all gravity driven. You start on a high tower, and of course the first part of the zip is gradually going down, then it speeds up to a high speed, down, zip, and then it goes up again, around corners, up and down, round corners, and works its way back to the base of the tower. But you can tell when people are on it because you can hear the screams.
That's always a good test for a ride. If they're screaming, they're having fun.
Yeah. And our zip line has 7 stations, 7 tower stops. And it takes an hour and a half or so to make the round.
Wait, on the roller coaster, it takes an hour and a half?
No, not the roller coaster.
Oh, okay.
On the regular zip line. The regular zip line, it goes tower to tower.
Oh, so that's the one that goes all around the facility.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, it goes around the facility. So it's there's no other zip line like it in the state in terms of when you get up there, you look around and you're in the wilderness.
Right.
You know, you see wilderness all around you.
Now, is there something to sit on? Because, you know, when you're talking about a roller coaster, you're talking about going up and down. Usually with a zip line, it's a straight line and you're off.
No, you're not sitting. You're in a halter.
Okay, you are strapped in, though. Okay.
Strapped in a halter, just like on a regular zip line. You're hanging from a wire on a halter, strapped around your butt.
Right. So it's almost like you have a chair.
Right. Yeah, like a parachute.
Man, I can't even. Is there a video somewhere of this zip line roller coaster? I'd love to be able to take a look at it.
I think on the website there's a video of it.
Right. Yeah, because is summer camp. It's going on right now between now and the end of July. If you want to be a camper, definitely make sure your parents call. The number is 407-957-9794. Make your reservations. You can enjoy the 7-tower zip adventure. There's the Zipline Thrill Pack, which, let's see. Let me see. I'm on your website right now. That's why I'm trying to find all this stuff here. Here's the Thrill Pack. Let me click. Let me see what happens. Let me see what Bill's going to do to you when you click on that one. Oh, that's, okay, there you go. Yep, that's the zip coaster. Wow, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
That's pretty wild. And there's a 7-story platform that you step off of to a controlled free fall. Yeesh.
Yeah, occasional person gets up there, takes a good look at it, and walks back down.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's like, are you a man or a mouse? I'm a mouse. Let's see, what else? You've got the Cypress Canopy Cycle. What is that?
Okay, on the Cypress Canopy Cycle, you're actually pedaling like you're pedaling a bicycle, only you're hanging from a cable that's above you.
So this is like a zip line as well.
A cable that's suspended high up in the trees, and you're going around through a wilderness area where you don't see anything else except birds and lizards and other critters.
Now, do you ever have to worry about something jumping up at the Cypress Canopy Cycle, like trying to take you out, like a panther or something?
Not usually.
All right. Well, I got to ask because you know what?
Only occasionally.
Oh, okay, it's only occasionally.
Yeah. We do have the Florida panther there, but they're pretty rare and not spotted very often.
Hey, let me ask you this. Now, in terms of the camping itself, I just went off the website by mistake. Here we go. There's also, I saw on the front. Let me back up again. You can get all this information from Bill's website, foreverflorida.com. Where was it? I lost my question. Sorry about that, Bill. It had to do with something that sounded dangerous, but it's probably not. Oh, you know what it was? It's the when you're describing some of the things they can do when they're camping. Don't you take them over like overnight camp as well, like off the grounds?
Off the grounds, right? Into the wilderness, right? You can do in a survival camp.
Right? Yeah. Survival camp.
Trying to survive a day in the wilderness.
So what does that mean? Do you give them anything, or you just say, "Here you go, see you tomorrow"?
Yeah, we feed them. They're supposed to try to construct some kind of camp, some sort of protection against the weather,
right?
Using palm fronds, etc.
But now they're with a like a counselor or somebody who's leading them.
Yes,
right?
there's a counselor along with them.
You don't just kind of show up, kick them out, and say, "See you tomorrow."
No,
All right.
no, that'd be a little risky. So we don't do that.
Yeah, for some reason the insurance company's giving us a problem with that idea, so we had to scrap it.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, and for adults, we have these horseback rides that. One thing is what we call a rawhide roundup, where you go out and actually move cattle around.
Now, do you get to lasso anything, or you're just?
Well, no, people don't know how to do that.
Oh, okay.
So forget that. That's like asking, are you going to do skating? Well,
No, I'm not going to ask about the skating. I thought that was for next week, Bill.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to save that question. Now, in terms of the other stuff that people can do there, again, it's Camp Illaha, right? And that's for the kids that they can stay from.
that's for the kids' camp. Yeah,
Either a week,
Camp
2 weeks, maybe more, depending on what your parents want to do in terms of keeping you out of the house, so they can enjoy some quiet time. You can end up doing the camp at Forever Florida. There's also horseback riding and nature coach tour, and you can, if you want to be a counselor, people can go for the counselor in training as well, right?
That's correct. Yeah, you can you can go for the training and have to be 18 to be a counselor. But if you're 17 this year and go for the training next year, you can be a camp counselor.
Okay, you can be a CIT, counselor in training. Hey, let me ask you this real quick, Bill, because I saw this. It came across the news the other day. Somebody caught a like a 12-foot Burmese python. Was that near you?
No, we don't have those yet, fortunately.
Okay.
That's a real problem. The Burmese python can eat most anything around there, including you.
Right. Yeah, that would definitely put a cramp in my camp plans.
Yeah, right. We don't have them in our area yet. They're further south.
All right. But is that something you guys are concerned with? Because I know there are some concerns with people dropping off, exotic animals, releasing them into the wildlife there, and then those things kind of throwing off the natural order of things.
Right, and of course with global warming, they tend to move gradually north. Right now, they're down in the Everglades in southern Florida.
All right. Well, it's good that you don't have to worry about that. Just worry about the Florida Panthers jumping up and trying to knock you off that very cool zipline cycle that you're pedaling on.
Right.
Again, we're talking to Bill Broussard. He is the founder, president, CEO of Forever Florida. ForeverFlorida.com is the website, or give them a call, 407-957-9794. Make your reservations. 30% off all adventures for Florida residents. And again, the Camp Illaha goes from now through the end of July. So make sure you make your summer camp plans and enjoy some fun, especially on the zipline stuff. Some of that stuff looks really cool, man. I wish I was closer. I'd be down there today. Again, Bill, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, good talking to you.
All right, you too, my friend. And we'll be back with more on Empire Radio right after these words.
Empire Broadcasting presents the Professionals Roundtable, 9 to 2 p.m. Hear what's hot in the professional world. Timely topics to propel your career to the next level. Professionals Roundtable, 9 to 2 p.m. exclusively on Empire Broadcasting.
Tired of looking at stained carpets, dirty tile, or grout? Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Make your flooring look great again. Stains, pet odors, allergies. Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. From serving our country to serving our community. Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Residential and commercial. Their work is guaranteed along with your satisfaction. Check their website, silverbackrestoration.com.
Here are today's headlines from the source WOCA. The fight over extracting water from Silver Springs continues. Sleepy Creek Lands Cattle Ranch seeks a permit to take an additional 1.22 million gallons of water per day from Silver Springs. If approved, the water increase would begin immediately and extend through the year 2023. Sleepy Creek says they need the water to produce more grass and hay to feed the cattle. More than 7,000 acres of their north tract would be used for cattle grazing. Petitioners are seeking to invalidate the emergency minimum flow rule for Silver Springs that the St. Johns River Water Management District Governing Board approved in April. Both sides will send post-hearing submissions by the August 16th deadline. After reviewing both submissions, a judge will issue a final order. The tropical depression that formed in the Atlantic Ocean on Wednesday night is not expected to strengthen or even survive much longer. The system, known as Tropical Depression 4, was also far from Florida, about 2,000 miles away, and was no concern for the state at this point. However, its remains could bring rain to the Sunshine State in the middle or later half of next week. The latest data and imagery indicate that the surface circulation of the depression has become less organized, according to an update from U.S. Navy hurricane specialist Dave Roberts on the National Hurricane Center's website yesterday. It is expected to lose its tropical cyclone status sometime tonight. Coastal erosion from last month's tropical storm Cindy has prompted officials to condemn townhouses at a subdivision along St. Joseph Peninsula on Florida's Gulf Coast. Battered by Cindy's 6 to 8 foot waves and heavy rains, the Cape Shoals subdivision of townhomes, located about halfway down Cape San Blas, was condemned last week, making it Gulf County's first victim of receding shorelines. For nearly 2 years, the county has been involved in the projects to restore sand to about 5.8 miles of the beach on the peninsula, about 40 miles southeast of Panama City. The plan excludes 2 state parks along that coast. Although the county has been working on the project to restore the shoreline since March 2016, the effort has been bogged down by bureaucratic hurdles at the local as well as federal level. Attorney John Morgan filed a lawsuit against the state yesterday, saying smoking marijuana is the best way to administer the marijuana drug to some patients. Morgan led the ballot effort that put medical use of marijuana in the state constitution with 71% voter approval. He said the language in the Constitution says marijuana cannot be smoked in public, which implies that it should be allowed in private. But the law, signed by Republican Governor Rick Scott last month, bans all smokable forms of marijuana. A Cessna 152 was spotted in a swampy area southwest of Miami with the body of the pilot alongside the debris. In an email, FAA spokeswoman Kathleen Bergen told the Associated Press the pilot was the only person on board the plane. Miami-Dade police spokesman Artemis Colomb told the Miami Herald newspaper that the crash is so far into the Everglades that they needed to use airboats to get to the scene. The Blue Man Group has joined the circus. Cirque du Soleil, the Montreal-based entertainment group, announced yesterday it had acquired New York-based Blue Man Productions. It is a major step as Cirque diversifies its productions. The acquisition will give Blue Man access to Cirque's venues worldwide, expanding the group's presence beyond its 5 U.S. locations, which are in Orlando, New York, Boston, Chicago, and Las Vegas. And those are the headlines from the source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Friday, a mix of sun and clouds with a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon, high 92 to 95. A shower thunderstorm Friday evening, otherwise patchy clouds, low 74 to 78. Saturday, partly sunny with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 91 to 93. Sunday, we'll see sun mixing with clouds with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 90 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Steve Travis.
If you or a loved one is suffering with knee, shoulder, neck, back pain, or tennis elbow and would like to learn how to get out of pain, go to Regenetic.com. Then listen in on the first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. to the people that give you the regenerative medical solutions to your pain. Regenetic, first and third Thursdays, 10 a.m. here on WOCA 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source, Regenetic.com.
If you find an animal or a bird that needs help, call Animist Foundation at 352-843-6379. They will come and get the animal if you can't take it to them. High school students and those with court-ordered community service can earn required hours in this rewarding environment. And veterans who share a bond with animals and parrots who have been through mental or physical trauma are especially welcomed. Families, clubs, and tourists can arrange for tours of Animist without driving for hours or miles. Consider volunteering. Animist needs you.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. The Southern Peanut Farmers Federation has launched a campaign website called www.peanutprogramworks.com and a video to showcase the benefits of the price loss coverage program in the 2014 Farm Bill and highlight its importance to farmers and families and communities. The website, through a series of farmer profiles, is an informational video and demonstrates how so many peanut farmers rely on the stability brought to the market through the PLC program. The Peanut Program works, according to Armand Morris of the Georgia Peanut Commission. It creates stability, giving farmers the ability to secure loans, contract with shellers, buy from chemical and feed companies, and invest in the Farm Capital Program. The Peanut Program has given farmers